Behind the spotlight. The girl the world judged before it ever knew her. Before the blinding lights. Before the echoing screams of millions. Before the designer runways, the sold-out arenas, and the viral fancams that stopped the world mid-scroll, there was just a girl. Quiet. Composed. Sitting in the eye of a storm no one else could see. It was 2015. The world hadn't yet heard of BLACKPINK. The name Jennie Kim was still a whisper in the corridors of YG, muttered with curiosity among trainees, stylists, and those who sensed something unusual about the girl with fierce eyes and an unreadable expression. She was a trainee just like many others, learning, practicing, dreaming. But while others trained with a clean slate, Jennie was already carrying a shadow. That year the internet did what it does best, it judged. A rumor surfaced. Then another. And another. Whispers of past misbehavior, school violence, arrogance, privilege. They festered across forums and comment sections, spreading like wildfire. No evidence. No context. Just words typed in haste by strangers. Screenshots. Anonymous posts. Edited photos. A story that, even if it ever had roots in truth, had been twisted beyond recognition. And just like that, Jennie, who had not yet debuted, who had never stood on a public stage, who was still being molded as an artist, was placed on a virtual trial. Not for her vocals. Not for her dancing. Not for her talent. But for a chapter of her life no one could confirm, and everyone seemed to have an opinion on. Many of those allegations were later denied. Some were publicly corrected. A few were exposed as outright fabrications. But we all know how it works. Corrections never travel as far as rumors. By the time people were ready to retract, the damage had been done. She was no longer Jennie, the promising trainee. She was Jennie, the problematic one. She's cold. She's rich, of course she acts like that. She looks like she thinks she's better than everyone. They didn't see the late nights she spent alone in practice rooms, rehearsing the same 8 count until her legs gave out. They didn't see the quiet girl who once cried in the stairwell after reading a cruel comment posted by someone who'd never met her. They didn't see her walking past a mirror trying to smile more, just to soften the cold expression people said she had. What they saw was a villain they had built. What they missed was a girl, 17, vulnerable and fighting silently. But Jennie didn't clap back. She didn't explain. She didn't write a letter begging for understanding. She trained. Not just her voice or her body, she trained her mind. Because she was no longer preparing to debut as an artist. She was preparing to debut as a target. When BLACKPINK exploded onto the scene in 2016 with Boombayah and Whistle, Jennie didn't just walk out onto the stage, she blazed onto it. Clad in charisma, wrapped in luxury, eyes unflinching. She was every bit the human Chanel people would later nickname her. But those who knew, those who remembered, knew she had stepped out from fire. Not fame. The fire of public judgment. Of betrayal. Of whispers in school halls and dorm rooms. Of the gnawing realization that from now on, every movement, every glance, every word, would be twisted, cropped, slowed down, and analyzed frame by frame. There's a reason Jennie's eyes sometimes look distant when she smiles. There's a reason she speaks less during interviews. There's a reason her stage presence is unshakable. Because off-stage, she's already lived through storms many wouldn't survive. Jennie is my inspiration. One fan commented under a viral fancam. She's stronger than people give her credit for, wrote another. And maybe that's the real story behind Jennie Kim. Not just the rapper, not just the fashion icon, not just the BLACKPINK member, but the warrior in velvet who keeps rising. Not because she wants to prove her haters wrong, but because she refuses to let them write her story. Since 2015, Jennie has endured more than most idols would in a decade. Every outfit is critiqued. Every expression misinterpreted. Every gesture dissected. When she smiles, she's faking it. When she's quiet, she's rude. When she's confident, she's arrogant. When she's emotional, she's weak. And yet every time she returns, sharper, louder, braver, unreachable. The girl they tried to cancel before she even debuted is now one of the most recognized faces on the planet. She's walked Chanel's runways in Paris. She's headlined Coachella. She's broken Spotify records. She's acted on HBO. She's defined an era of K-pop. Jennie isn't just a member of BLACKPINK. She's a cultural force, a living paradox, luxury with grit, softness with edge, vulnerability with power. And behind that carefully painted eyeliner and curated silence is a message. For every girl who's ever been mislabeled, misunderstood, or misrepresented, you don't have to explain yourself to be powerful. Jennie didn't explain. She transformed. This isn't just her journey. It's a mirror. A reminder that behind every successful woman is a story the world tried to bury. But light, no matter how deep it's buried, finds a way to shine. So next time you see her on stage, dancing under neon lights while fireworks explode behind her, remember this. That power was forged in silence. That confidence was shaped by scars. That woman was once a girl, quietly sitting in a storm no one believed was real. And she didn't break. She built.